Hello, Lorraine Lilly here from Let's Start Design. This short video uses Wix developer tools, also known as Wix Code, to create a table populated by a linked database. I hope you find it useful for your Wix site and implement it. If you have questions, please feel free to leave me a message after the video. Hi, I'm going to show you how to create a table, connect it to a database, and then it will be filled dynamically. So first I've added a table by going to the plus sign here, and I have to turn on my developer tools by just checking here from tools up here, and once that happens you will see this user input, and you can go down and drag a table over, which is what we've done here. This particular table is going to be for upcoming races, so the name of the race, the date of the race, and when the registration date is. So now we need to create a database that connects to it. So going back to the plus sign, database, create a new collection, and we're going to start creating. And we're going to call it races. And what's this database for? So when we look at it, site content, anyone can view data from this collection, which is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to create collection, and right here we're going to click on the plus sign, and we're going to call it race name. And it's a text field. They have all these different fields here. So this one is just text. Add. Add another field. This will be the date. And we're going to put in a date and time field. I'm also going to add a date as a text field. That way, depending on how we want the information to be displayed. And then just add another one for registration. And this will be a link to the race site. So we're going to make it a URL. And so, for example, we're going to call the first race my mother race. And we're going to say that the date, let's say we're going to say next month, on the 30th of April, and we're going to say that it begins at 8 AM, and then here we're going to put in the date as a text field, and then registration we will put in any, I'm just going to put in the link to my website for now, just so that you get the idea. Okay, so we have one entry there. Now we need to go back to our page where we have our table. We have to connect this to our database, and that is done by adding a data set. So if we add and go to database, we're going to add a data set right here, and this will be invisible once we launch our page. We're going to click on Manage Dataset. We are going to connect a database. So we're going to connect our races database over here. And we want it to be read-only. We don't want anyone to be able to change the information. We only want them to be able to view it. So it's going to be read-only. And then how many things do we want to display? So I'm going to increase this to maybe 40, just in case we have as many as 40 races in a time period. But you could do a filter here or do a sort. So this is going to sort the data by newest to oldest, but you can add a sort if you want to choose a particular field. So maybe we will do it by date and do it the newest to the oldest. And now we're going to connect each of these items to the database or within this data set. So here where we have the race data, we're going to choose the races data set. So our race name is going to connect. We've got our date. We have date text and registration URL. Okay, let's preview it. So we have our registration, we have our URL, we have our date text, and we have the date displayed. Actually, it's displaying at April, so we might switch that around, and then the name of the race. Now, because we have a title field which a database adds in automatically, it's pulled in this title here, and so we're going to get rid of that because we don't need it in our table. So we go to Manage Table, and you'll see that it's pulled the various references from our database. So this one we're going to delete, and so we end up with the race name, the date in text format, which I don't think we're going to need, so I'm just going to delete that from the table. I'm not deleting it from the database, it's still in the database. So we're going to get that, so we end up with just our registration here. And under settings, we're going to choose month, day, and then year. So that was just here on the settings and under date format. So now when we preview, it's going to bring in the race, the date, and the registration. If you don't like the look, you can create the design here by customizing, and have a look at the text and the link color. Maybe we'll make this color. The header background is this, which is fine. We also might want to just alter the setting, and then you can also alter the width of your table. Since we just have 3 things, maybe we'll make them 250. Pull this in like this. Okay, so let's have a look. We preview. Here we go. We have our race, the date, and how to register.